Greetings and welcome back, gentles and ladiesmen, to the Sonic Adventure 2 research project. We're here on the final Rouge stage in the game, Mad Space. Quite infamous if you have ever spoken with Sonic Adventure 2 with anyone before. And as you might expect, we are here for the long haul, so I have brought along yet another guest to join me in the commentary. Introduce yourself, kind sir.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's GamerGuyd7Aces, and I'm finally doing a collaboration with ExoParadigmGamer. Long time.
Well, I mean, I think I cameoed in like a Halloween episode you did once.
Yeah, actually, it was like an April Fool's, but it was a creepypasta.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Sonic Theory.
But yeah, so GamerGuyd, what do you do around the internet?
Well, I first started. Okay, I'm not about to give like the whole life, about my history on YouTube, but I originally started as an LPer. I did Lego games and all that, Lego and Sonic. But now I mostly just do like Sonic rants. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's mostly Sonic discussions and Sonic theories and all that, and I discuss about games now. Because LPs are dead. But
yeah. I'm not. You might know that I actually have an LP channel.
Oh yeah, Gaming Mavericks, right?
Yeah, Game Mavericks.
Oh, Game Mavericks.
And we've been doing it for almost, I don't know, probably 2.5 years. Like, we started in January of 2014. Oh. And we still haven't cracked 1,000 subs yet.
Oh yeah, it's
tough. Or like 900 something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If we didn't enjoy doing it so much, then we probably wouldn't have kept going on it. But yeah. So I don't know. Just from bits and pieces I've read on Twitter, it sounds like you've largely abandoned the Let's Playing game and are focusing more on Sonic Theories now.
Yeah. Like, cause before I used to do like LPs, like both from new games and old games, and I used to be like those people that did day one LPs and stuff. But then it just got tiring, especially on my wallet. And I'm like, okay, like you waste like $50 on a game, and then you do a LP on it, and you don't get that much views, and I mean, so then it kind of took away the fun from doing gaming. Like, you know what? I just want to play games at my own pace, enjoy it, and if I feel like doing a video on it, I will. But so it just became an oversaturated thing, But yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like, personally, I really enjoy doing LPs, which is, I don't know, part of why I'm doing this, because making roars is, God, like that fucking Super Mario 64 video.
Oh yeah,
took
that blew
everything
up.
I had.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's doing well and all, but it was like one of the most difficult projects I've ever done.
Oh wow.
Just in terms of editing alone, like editing a 59-minute long review is way different from editing even this part we're watching right now.
Oh yeah, that's
like, for the most part.
Like, even if it's a 30-minute video, like the hardest theory I had to make was the one about like the broken fan base, like Sonic's fan base. I did that last year, because it was more kind of like an editorial, and I had to I had to do a lot of research from like the classic era all the way to modern, so it was it was pretty challenging. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I also want to add that this is the original Mario Galaxy level.
Yeah, we should probably talk a little bit about the stage.
Oh yeah, for real, yeah.
We will have plenty of time for that, because the Newbie Run, guess how long it's going to take?
About like 40 minutes, or?
You're a little off, but it is by far the longest run of these stages. Wow. 24 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah,
which is pretty long,
level.
So
yeah.
So I guess,
and
I guess we'll talk a little bit about what the sort of the gimmick is with the stage. So Mad Space, you can consider it Act 2 of the space levels, with Meteor Herd being Act 1 of sorts.
Much better than this one.
Yeah, I think that one. Well,
that one was more like a vertical level, but this one, especially with the monitors and the backwards ass text.
Well, we could talk a little bit more about that when we get to the full hint run and use all three of them.
Oh yeah.
But essentially what this is actually a very vertical level as well. In fact, like at the bottom, there's that little triangular platform, and there are 3 missile launcher sorts of things you can go that all lead to different planets.
Yeah.
But starting off, you can only use one of the rockets because you don't have the iron boots technically. So for both and it leads you to this planet, I think.
Oh yeah.
No,
the moon.
it leads you to. I think it leads you to the gravity planet.
Okay.
And in the center of the gravity planet is the iron boots. So the game basically funnels you towards the iron boots right away.
Okay.
It's hard. It'll be very difficult to miss those. But so there are 3 planets. This is the holy planet, and this one does not have a gravity gimmick. As you can see, you can climb all around it, and it's called that because there's a halo. And of course, there are Omo Chows that will say, this is the holy planet. And then there's the capsule planet. I might be butchering these names, but it's at least the right idea. Yeah.
Holy. Oh, I thought it was whole, like literal whole, holy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's holy because it's got like a halo around it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then there's the capsule planet, which is that giant green pill-shaped planet. With all the little, I guess, fans on it.
Oh yeah, that one.
Then there's I know, I just call it the gravity planet. I don't think that's its actual name, but the gravity planet, that's probably the most infamous part of the stage, is when you are walking on it, you can walk all the way under the bottom. That's what GamerGuyd was saying when he was talking about Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then, as you get up here, there are those 3 storage containers in that octagonal platform. Then as you get to the top of the stage, it's pretty much the exact same thing as Knuckles. Like, slightly different, but it's the same inverted tower structure, the 8 little platforms sticking out of it.
It's basically the same location, too. Like, since, this is before they meet and fight and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the very next part of the playthrough for both the Dark and Hero storylines, they meet at the Steel Tower in Meteor Herd and do battle for the remaining Emerald Shards. So,
oh yeah,
that's where the Emerald is, but we're skipping that for now. Yeah, we're doing that because we want to get the full round of the stage before we get each Emerald.
Yeah,
because like I think most players worth their salt would have grabbed it, but we're assuming that the RNG is so bad that they find it in the last possible place. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah. How much? I know that you watched at least the first few parts of the series, GamerGuyd.
Oh yeah, I did the first one. I forgot what it's called. Grand Canyon something.
Wild Canyon.
Wild Canyon. Yeah, I'm not good with the names of the adventure games, but yeah, that one is actually the easiest for the treasure hunting. I mean, if you get used to it.
I think so.
Yeah, and then Pumpkin Hill is where it starts, getting aggravating.
Well, I guess we might as well get into this. What are your 2 cents on Adventure 2 as a whole, and in treasure hunting in particular?
Oh yeah, okay. When it comes to the treasure hunting, I mean, it looks fun. Like, it looks a lot more enjoyable than the mech shooting levels. But just the execution for Sonic Adventure 2 is what really annoys me, especially with the radar system. As you guys know, if you've seen Some Call Me Johnny, he complains about how it's one at a time. Like, if it was like the one in Sonic Adventure 1, that would have been a lot better. I mean, I know that Tico kind of, like cuts everything short by telling you it's this way. But I don't know, like even with that, I still had to, I still had trouble locating it because I was a noob, But it was a lot better than the whole radar system in Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, in my opinion, but yeah.
Oh, I guess my thing with that review is that there are some things. I guess I'm of the opinion that he kind of went out of his way to make the game look bad.
Yeah, you're saying like a third of the game was enjoyable. I mean, I kind of agree with him. I won't say like the other 2/3 is horrible, is bad. Like, no, like I can play the mech shooting levels just fine. And the treasure hunting, I mean, if you have patience, it's not terrible like 06 or anything, but it's just, it's not like it could have been a lot better, a lot more polished, and that's when people like, Pro Jared said it hasn't aged well or whatever. Like to me, I just think that, like when it comes to aging, like, I mean, it's pretty much subjective, but in my opinion, like the adventure games haven't aged greatly, but it's nothing terrible. Like, I still consider these games good games. It's just, I just like to poke fun at them because it's easy to make fun of. But yeah, like I'm just not too fond of them because I didn't really grow up on these games. I grew up from with the classics, and yeah.
Like I have obviously was in a different position. I I played the classics once as a kid. Like I rented the Gems collection, I think.
Yeah.
No, not the Gems collection. The Mega collection for the GameCube. Yeah. Like, I think what it was we were about to go on vacation somewhere and we were getting antsy, so our mom was like, all right, we'll go to the video store and rent the game. And I was like, ooh, that Sonic Mega Collection looks good. I liked Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes. I want to play this. And I played it, and it was nothing like the adventure games. I mean, it was very, very different. And because I wasn't used to this idea of there being limited continues in a game, because I even though I grew up with like the classic Mario games, I grew up with like the Game Boy Advance versions that had full save features and everything, and they're much more accessible for a modern audience than the originals were. And so then you go to the Sonic Mega Collection, and I didn't know about the save states, but I don't think that that's even in the GameCube version. I think that's only for the PlayStation 2 version or Xbox version. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
The GameCube version I don't think has it.
Yeah, I just played the originals on the the Sega Genesis, so I don't even know. I do know that the reason why, like part of the reason why like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is my favorite of the classics, 3 Knuckles, is because they had save states and it wasn't too unforgiving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think with that game, it's got by far the strongest level design of 5 games. Or I guess technically 4 if you count 3 Knuckles as 1. One thing I really hate about this capsule planet is I'm trying to like glide all around it because you don't know if there could be an emerald on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's sometimes won't let you grab the side of it, and then you have to like go all the way back up. One thing I did discover. Actually, I'll leave that observation for later. But yeah, I mean, 3 Knuckles is a great game. I did a stream of it a while back though, and I realized that the camera wasn't as good as I remembered it.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of my big thing with 2D Sonic, is that you're in this cramped little box, and you move so fast that it's like hard to see things coming and avoid them.
Yeah, I won't even argue against that, because I mean, that is a problem with Sonic games. Like with me, it's not a problem because I grew up with them, so I memorize things. But even like for instance, like Marble Garden Zone in Sonic 3, you almost always will run into the bubbles, you go fast. So it's like,
I mean, Sonic CD actually pans the screen off to the side when you're going fast, so you can see more.
Oh yeah,
which was great. I don't know why they didn't include that for 3 Knuckles, but the way that 3 Knuckles is designed, for the most part, it keeps you from going so fast that you run into things. Well, I mean, at the very least, you run into things less often than you would in like Sonic 2.
Yeah, because
Sonic 2 is like horrible for that.
A lot of people that say that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the best. I mean, like Sonic 2, I love the game. I like it more than Sonic 1, but the game is very it's very difficult and unforgiving, especially Metropolis, Wing Fortress.
It's only really like that in the first couple playthroughs, but since my first couple playthroughs were, I was in my late teens when I played the games for the first time. It's very different than if you're like 5 years old and playing it on a brand new Genesis that you got the game with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you just have different sets of expectations, and you're just going to evaluate the game differently. It's just natural. And I feel like same thing is happening when, folks like you are coming into like the adventure games for the first time.
Yeah.
And like the flaws are just more obvious when you're older.
Exactly, yeah. I do remember that playing Sonic 2, like that game gave me anxiety. But I still played it, I enjoyed it. But the moment I discovered Sonic 3, I barely played Sonic 2.
Yeah. Sonic 3 Knuckles is a good game.
Yeah.
Not my personal favorite of the bunch, but it's up there. It's a well-made 2D Sonic game.
Okay.
And that's more than I can say for like most portable ones, I guess.
Oh, I see. So I'm curious, like when it comes to Sonic, like what's your favorite Sonic game?
I think it's got to be this one.
Really? Wow.
It's like, I think my top 5 in no particular order are probably 3 Knuckles is in there, Colors is in there, Generations is in there, this game is in there.
Okay.
And if I had to pick a 5th one, probably Lost World.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny though, because like when people ask me my top 5, they think I'm just going to put all the classics. But like when it comes to my top 5, number 1 is 3 Knuckles. Number 2, it has to be CD, because I'm talking about the remake, not the original. And 3, I think 3 is Generations. 4 is, I don't know, it's either Colors or Sonic 2, and then 5 is Sonic 2. But yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I died. And as always, when I die, I do some complicated mathematics to figure out. And of course, as always, I'm not counting the time when the timer is paused, because hypothetically a player could be paused for an infinite amount of time. So it's like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't feel like that really counts. So the time so like I died at about 14 minutes, and the checkpoint was at 7:50. So that's, you know, like I subtract the smaller one from the bigger one to figure out how long, you know, you could do the math yourself, but I was very figured. So with, you were saying?
Oh no, I think I finished what I was saying, but yeah, but my phone here is like it's buzzing every 3 seconds, because I think it's all those tweets I wrote about the Green Hill Zone stage and the Sonic Forces. I was pretty opinionated about it, so like, people have been telling me about how savage the Wendy's Twitter is, but you guys should see GamerGuyd's Twitter feed. It's like, yeah, they're roasting everything left and right. Yeah, I'm pretty opinionated, but yeah, it's just because, you know, like as a Sonic fan, you have to tolerate a lot of bullshit, you know, so especially from the Sonic fan base. So yeah, there's some interesting characters around, and I'm sure that in certain circles I am considered an interesting character. Oh yeah. But, I mean, well, your Twitter's pretty tame. But yeah, except when I'm, you know, complaining about people and going on rants. That happens too. Yeah. But there's one thing I try to avoid doing, is subtweeting. I don't do that. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I do it just because I don't actually want to be too confrontative. Yeah. Because, I don't know, at some point it becomes more about the subject matter than it is about the people, really. Exactly, yeah. Oh, that one's easy. Yeah. I mean, that emerald shard. Yeah. Yeah, so we had just finished our second round of the stage when we were up there and died, I guess. I don't know. So we're on our third round now, and the total will come out to like 24 minutes. Okay. So I guess one question I have for you, GamerGuyd, is what's your general? How many times have you played this game? Let's see. I did play it you know, completely once before I did an LP of it, because, you know, I wanted to get a feeling of it. Oh yeah. And that was back in 2015, and then I played it again, you know, when I was doing the LP. And then every now and then I did play it again, but it was mostly like the Sonic and Shadow levels and a little bit of the Knuckles. But I don't know, I never came back to the Rouge levels, especially that one in the security hall. Like that one, that one can suck me, because that one's horrible. Only like 5 minutes, and it's like, no, the thing I hate about it is, you know, the beginning, like the guy in the speaker says that, oh, like everything will shut down or whatever in 15 minutes. We're just like, oh, it's no piece of cake, I can do it in 5. It's like, what? No. Set the timer for 15 minutes. Yeah. Let's go, Rouge. 5 minutes will be plenty. Yeah, I remember. Here I go. Yeah, I remember in Johnny's review, he even had an issue with that. It's like, so really, here's the thing about that. And GamerGuyd wouldn't. I don't know. I haven't uploaded the security hall episode yet as of recording. Oh, okay, yeah. But what Eggman means when he says 15 minutes is that's 15 minutes until the island blows up altogether. Yeah. So Rouge is saying, I'll take 5 minutes to grab the emeralds and use the remaining 10 minutes to get the hell out of here. Yeah. So I don't know, apparently that wasn't communicated well enough, because I don't know, ever since Johnny made that, everybody complains about that. Yeah. But I mean, like, I always imagined it to be like Green Force, you know, like with Sonic, like he literally had like you know, like you literally have up to 0 seconds to get off the island before it blows up. And, you know, it's just it's video game logic, you know. Instead of like, because, you know, in the end you have to reach the goal ring, and in real life you'll just try to get the hell out of the island. No, I gotta reach the goal first. But yeah. Well, I guess the goal ring is supposed to be next to where he meets up with Tails to fly off the island. Tails just magically appears there. Like. But yeah, so when you've played these stages, what's been your strategy? Well, with this one, I don't know. It's just been luck. Like, I mean, I still have the video I did put up. I think I did that by myself instead of a co-com, but yeah, like it was difficult because, you know, I would try to pay attention to the monitors and try to read them backwards, and, you know, then I feel dyslexic and stuff. And then you only have 3 times to do it. So yeah, I hate this level. Like, sometimes I just like purposely kill myself to restart everything. Yeah, it's like sometimes I mean, like, personally, I guess I do care a little bit more about my rank, so I probably wouldn't. Yeah. But
actually, since most of it's time bonus based anyway, you probably could get away with that. But
oh, yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes those extra points can make a difference from like. But so do you know that you can pause the game and read hints?
Oh, I never knew that. Wow. So
yeah, I think I told you about that on Twitter. When, because when I first started posting this series, GamerGuyd is like, "Oh, we can't have you defending Sonic Adventure 2, lol," or something like that on Twitter. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, well, yeah. Then he showed me like a clip from his Let's Play where he's playing Wild Canyon, and I was like, and then right away I noticed you read the hints once and then you didn't pause to read them again later.
Yeah, you know the funny thing is,
I was like, oh, well, you do know you could pause the.
Yeah, the funny thing is when I rewatched that, like I didn't even pay attention to the monitors, and rewatching that again, it's like you dummy. Like, you know, it said like to head over to the statue, but you know when you're doing commentary live, you don't it's hard to pick up on some things. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, like you should see my Donkey Kong Country 3 playthrough. It is like I can play that game reasonably well, but the moment the Let's Play curse kicks in, yeah, it's a whole other ball game.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's why when it comes to live commentary, like I think the last time I did live commentary was like early last year. I don't know. I just stopped it. But I mean, I do miss doing that because it's more fun. But when it comes to playing better, like it's better to do it post.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like if I were to have done live commentary for this. I don't think it would have worked for this series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been just me like, well, is it over here? I mean, it might have been better in terms of like talking about the hints and how they work. Because like I'm actually thinking through the process as I'm doing it. But
yeah,
in terms of like talking about more of the intricacies of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's only so much you could say for 25 minutes in mad space in the Newbie Run. But yeah, I'd be interested when you get a chance if you could give at least a couple of these stages another shot and try reading the hints from the pause menu and see if that helps at all.
I'll try them again, yeah. Because I mean, I remember like when I played Wild Canyon recently, like I did that one much better. But of course, that one's the first one, so and it's pretty small compared to the rest.
I think you will be surprised at how quickly I can beat the stage when we get to the trial runs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I was wondering...
You know, even then, that's like the experience one.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if you saw my most recent video when I was talking about, like, if, like, Sega should remake the Sonic Adventure games, like, completely, like, you know, like what they're doing with Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, that would be great.
I would... Like, yeah, I know I've seen those SFM cutscenes that someone made where they like remade a couple key cutscenes from both adventure games, and they were really well done. And it really just goes to show that the voice acting maybe isn't as bad as it seems. Yeah, it's just the way it's presented that makes it seem bad.
Exactly, and to be honest, like, you know, like in Crash Insane Trilogy, I think there are some lines that are being revoiced by the cast or whatever, but I don't think that needs to be done with the adventure games. I just think it just had bad audio mixing.
Yeah, I think it's like with the first game, it's like the cutscenes or the pacing is so bad. It's like someone will say a line, then it will be like a solid 5 seconds before someone says everything. Like I think in my review, I included the scene where, like, after Sonic saves Tails from the tornado wreckage and they're back at the hotel, it's just like, "You're lucky I saw you come down just now," and then it will like pause for like 8 seconds and no one will say anything, and then Tails will reply, and then it'll be 8 seconds more before someone says something again. In Sonic Adventure 2, it's better insofar as it's not so much space, but it's kind of has the opposite problem where sometimes like people will be talking. Yeah. And that might actually be a disc reading thing. Like, I know GamerGuyd knows this. I found these GameCube Harry Potter games because I was like, oh, I remember having the Chamber of Secrets ones when I was little.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give this a shot. And then I was playing it on Nintendo, which is like a hacked Wii homebrew thing that,
that one
lets you force progressive scan and stuff. And I was playing it on there, and I had the disc reading speed unlocked so that I would load faster. But when you do that, then the cutscene pace, then people are talking over each other in cutscenes because they pace the dialogue with the disc reading.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they were trying to do that here because, like, I know. Yeah. So here's our time: 24:32.
24:32. And time. Okay, that's not bad.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, it's by far the longest time I ever got. I think the second one was like 21 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I ordered a pizza.
Oh, pizza bread.
And funny story. So I was like, because like I basically recorded most of these runs in one sitting for like all of these parts. And like at that point I was like super hungry, so I ordered a pizza, right? And then I missed, the guy calls me when he gets here, and I missed the call the first time. He tries to call me again the second time, and you know, I guess I had like the vibrate in my phone turned off or something, so I didn't notice it at first. Then right after that I noticed, oh shit, and then I pick up the phone just too late to answer the phone. And then he leaves me a message like, oh, I've got pizza here, call me back. So I called him back like 8 times, and he never answered a single time.
Wow.
And I just never got my pizza.
That's funny. Yeah.
So, yeah, that wasn't fun, but you know, I didn't starve, I'm still alive. You don't even have to worry now. Yeah, so we're getting into our full hint run now, so I might as well comment on some of the hints we get. I think, like, as always, I'll be doing one full round of the stage before I start looking at hints, because you know, I can't assume that a new player could even with how specific the level 3 hints are, I can't assume that a new player would instantly know where to go like I would.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know
I'm
everything.
trying to kind of pad it out. Trying to
I hate that part. You know, like when it has like ridges in the platforms and you can't like latch on to that.
But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna complete my round at the slower area, and then when later on we'll get into the hints. And I don't know, I think people who hate Mad Space will be surprised at how easy they become with hints.
Yeah, like I forgot the hints. Like, okay, so you know, you can only look at the TV monitors up to 3 times. So the first 2 times it's backwards, right? And then the third time it's normal.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think I talked to the Omo Chow at first. So I'm almost certainly I will pause the game to look at all 3 later on after I finish my round of the stage. But how it works, and Omo Chow explains this, is hint treasure detectors are reversed. Be very careful. So usually it comes in like 3 flavors when it means reversed. Okay. First flavor is they lie to you, which means in that case the reverse is the opposite of what they say, which is pretty simple. And then the other one, well, I mean, you're told like right at the beginning, that Omo Chow right at the beginning of the stage says that the hint readings are reversed. Yeah. So it's not like they lie, they don't let you know at all, but the other flavor, I guess, is they will literally spell the words backwards, and then, but of course, that's simple. You just pause the game and read it, you know.
Yeah, I never knew that. I don't know why I didn't know that. So like when you pause it, do you have to like select hints, or is it just at the bottom when you pause it?
Yeah, it's just like at the bottom of the screen. Like it's like in the same spot in the screen it is when you read it.
Okay.
It's just, you know, and then you can press L and R to cycle through them.
Oh, I never knew that.
And then, so like, yeah, like I imagine that if you were to try again, I would compel you to do so. Yeah. And you grab the 3 hints and then you just pause and look at them back to back. I think you will be amazed at how much faster you can beat these levels. Yeah,
I should definitely try this one again, because this one's my least. Well, no, okay, I think it's my second least after the security hall, because the security hall, like, it was sometimes I just could not find an emerald. Like it will say it's like in this wall, and I would look everywhere and it's not there. I don't know, so I would just kill myself and start again.
Yeah, when I upload my security hall part, I did have one of those nightmare scenarios where like I actually used 3 hints and I was looking at them. Yeah. I think it was like on my 4th trial run. So I was like in the stage, first hint's like near the wall, and then the radar is blinking yellow. It's like near the start of the level, and it's like next to one of the 3 fans at the bottom of the level. There's like this little wall between the fan and the spring that takes you up to the switch room. And I'm like floating around over there because it's blinking yellow and it said by the wall, so it's got to be there, right? Well, no. So I go grab another one. It's like in the corner. So it's like, okay, I'll go to the far corner that's, you know, like farther away from the fan and the wall.
Yeah.
It's still blinking yellow, but I can't find shit. So we use a third hint, and it's like a striped black and yellow thing. And I'm like, okay, so like the corner I was at had that too. And then I'm just bugging around for like 3 or 4 minutes trying to find the fucking thing. And because it's like, then I eventually find it's in the inner corner, which has a yellow and black lining on it. And I was like, how did I not figure that out? But
yeah,
it's because the radar was like, in that small space was like too sensitive. So there were like several places the hints were referring to all at once that were not the correct place, but because it was yellow, I thought I was close in all of them. So
yeah, you see,
something like that can happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not very.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that you would think that someone like me who loves playing, like, you know, the Lego games would love like collectathons like this, but still, because with Lego games, like sometimes you'll reach like a dope moment where, you know, you're having you're having difficulty finding something when it's right there, and then you'll just be like, how could I be so blind? But yeah, but I don't know. I think it just matters on the execution, you know. Like,
I think really what it is that people don't. I think what it is that most people are like you and don't know that they can pause the game to use hints.
Yeah.
I really think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've mentioned this in previous parts, but the menu tells you can, or the manual tells you can do that. In the GameCube version, there's this tutorial video you can watch where they like explain everything you could possibly want to know. And Elmo Chow says, if you forget the hints, pause the game and they will be displayed. So there are in-game notifications, at least in the GameCube version, that you can do that, but
I don't know. Well, okay, I do have this on the PSN, you know, my PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's there, but I gotta try it.
I looked for it. It's not in the game. I think it's because it was so GameCube specific.
Oh, okay, that's why.
That they couldn't include it. Like in terms of they show GameCube buttons and it's in 4:3.
You know, and
this still didn't stop them from including only 4:3 cutscenes in this game, but you know, whatever.
Okay, I see. And the thing I noticed is when this game, when Sega like so-called remastered this for the you know, like the next gen systems, it got like considerably lower scores, and I think like it's because of things like this, you know.
So yeah, so we're pausing it on the blue stand near the enemy. It was the first hint there. Oh, okay. I guess I missed it. So like, as you can see, you pause the game and it shows you. We're almost done with our round.
Oh yeah.
So
that's nice.
And once we finish the round, I'll probably pause the game and look at the hints again, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So on the blue stand next to the blue enemy, the highest place.
Okay.
And I think we need one more, so it's right there.
That's pretty helpful.
Don't bother the water enemy on the platform with the blue thing below.
Oh, I hate those water aliens. Like, it's hard to...
Yeah, the artificial chaos. So, like, don't bother the water enemy on the blue light platform below. So, like... So, like, the reverse of that is do that.
Oh, okay.
So, like, people always complain that apparently the hints in this level in particular are too cryptic because they reverse them, but it's like, you're told at the beginning that they are reversed, and... What's the opposite of don't bother the water enemy on the blue platform below? It's the opposite, is just do that.
Yeah, like basically you have to think like a child here. Your parents told you not to do something, you do it.
At the base of the tilted light.
Tilted light, yeah.
So that on its own, like, for me, that could be helpful because I know the level design pretty well, but we still have 2 more hints to go. And that will almost certainly make things more specific. The smallest meteorite, so the opposite of that is the biggest one.
Yeah.
And then our third hint right here is don't dig at the base of the long light near the green rock.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Basically telling you dig.
Yeah. And that's another thing is people will sometimes complain, like especially if you're not using hints, the ones that are probably the most difficult to find in the game are the ones where you have to dig.
Yeah.
Because you don't know exactly which spot to dig, but if you use the hints, they tell you.
Yeah,
like it'll say near the scarecrow, and then you dig near the scarecrow, and sure enough, that's where you'll find it. So it's like hints are such a big part of this playstyle, and I feel like if people utilize them better, then this whole thing about this playstyle being like worse than Satan would not be a thing.
I still kind of like the treasure hunting more than the mech levels. I don't know. I just and I feel like there were more mech shooting levels in SA2 than anything else. So
that's. I think you might actually no. It's actually there are more. There are 10 Sonic and Shadow levels altogether. Yeah. There are 9 mech stages and there are 9 treasure hunting stages.
Okay.
The other 2 levels are cart stages.
Okay. Well, the 9 levels just feel very long, and it gets monotonous, especially with Eggman and with Tails. It gets like difficult and just not fun anymore. But
I don't know. Like I really enjoy those because I like racking up scores.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So don't dig at the base of the long. So I thought it was referring to the capsule planet, but what it's really talking about is more of those green gemstones.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't remember what the first 2 hints were, but you could, if you use them together, you'll find them. It's
okay. That's cool.
Getting to the holy planet's a little more difficult because it's you have to use that rocket, which is kind of
gravity. Yeah.
Yeah, those rockets make it really easy to get around the stage either way, but you know, so and sure enough, it's blinking, so it's got to be around here somewhere.
Okay.
And you know, our hints together, because of our hints, we know it's at the base of one of these green rocks.
Yeah.
So we dig right here next to the rock, and there it is.
Well, okay, I do have a question for you. Like, would you like to see the treasure hunting gameplay in future Sonic games, or like revisited?
Yes. You'll probably hate me for this, but I think it's my favorite playstyle in the game.
In Sonic Adventure 2?
Yes.
Sean? Well, I mean, I do like it. Like, you know, like if I think about anything else to play, you know,
I think that we're getting to our trial runs here, but
yeah,
I think what it is these are by far the most replayable stages in the game. With 3 legs, propeller of the machine with 3 legs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, so off the top of my head, I don't know what that could be referring to, but
okay. Oh, is this the final round where you look at all the hints?
Yeah, I think I used a second one because with this stage, you shouldn't be afraid to use at least 2. I think, if you really need to, because it's just so big that, like, even like technically the most reliable way. I think it's like slightly more reliable to not use any hints at all to get A ranks. Technically, but my success rate for A ranks using my strategy has been probably, I still need to do the calculations, but I guess it's still like over 80%.
Okay,
when you use my strategy. But at this level, it's just simply too big to use the strategy of not using any hints at all and counting on the bonus points. It's just too big for that. You need hints to A rank the stage.
Yeah.
And if that means you got to use more than one to find it real quick, it's like those bonus points are nothing to sneeze at. That is what's going to make or break your rank.
Yeah,
those bonus points, they help, and certainly that's why I prefer to only use like 1 per shard. That one says Crescent Moon with green growing. And because I've had to play the stage several times in a row, I recall the platform at the bottom of the stage where there's a bunch of green gemstones growing on it, and there's a little moon, one of those circular little moon things you can dig in that has a green stone growing out of it. So that hint to me is helpful because I know the level design enough, but certainly you could use 1 or 2 more hints, and that would probably help you narrow it down.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
It's like, I really do feel like, because, like, I know everybody complains about the radar, like, everybody. Especially since Johnny made his review, it's just like, everybody, well, they changed the radar, so they're borked, you can't play them, they're broken, they're bad.
Yeah, it's not broken, it's just more difficult, and, you know, it all depends on your levels of fun. If it's not fun doing this, then, you know, the radar system will make it more aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that's what I've been saying.
Oh,
I died.
Crap.
So I include the times. I died so many times in the stage. Messy storage.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I think probably one of the big storage containers, or maybe like there are a bunch of floating containers somewhere. So I'm thinking probably in the upper part of the stage. And once you get the iron boots, you can open those, and with the trial runs, I'm not paying too much attention to upgrades in the stage. I'm just going as fast as I can.
I see. But yeah, I do agree with you. I would rather see Sega revisit the treasure hunting than doing anything mech shooting. And you know, with this third character gameplay, I think with Sega they did say that it will be 100% 3D. Because you know, like the classic is 2D, the modern is 3D and 2D, and the third character be 3D. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like something like treasure hunting, because they did say it would have time limits or whatever. But you know,
that would be interesting. Yeah, messy storage. You see there are these floating ones. And we're in a giant storage container, so that's where it is.
Cool.
So yeah. So let's see what this hint says. Star by a burning watchman.
Oh, I just saw a rat, so I'm like, wait, oh, star.
Yeah. So what that means is it's probably one of those flaming meteorites that hit you in Knuckles' state. Because I've been getting all the A ranks recently, and the second mission in Meteor Herd is a big pain in the butt.
Yeah, true.
Because some of the time limits for the A ranks are really fucking tight. And with Knuckles, that's the case. Like, they expect you to be like perfect on the mark in terms of getting those 100 rings, but it's made much more difficult because those fucking meteorites come out of nowhere and hit you.
Yeah, I hate that, especially in Meteor Herd. It's annoying.
It's because like for a casual run it doesn't matter, because if you lose a couple rings, you know, not a big deal. But for the 100 ring missions, when stuff is coming out of nowhere and hitting you, like Mission Street has that problem too. That's where I just kind of have the problem. But yeah, so it should show that the actual time was, when you include the death, it'll show up eventually.
Okay.
3:57.
Okay, count it.
So
okay.
Yep.
You got to
so that, I don't know, I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially for a final level. Like, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, and I don't know, like those. Like I said, I can't assume that everybody will know these stages as well as I do, but like I said, if you know, in terms of A ranks and stuff, if you really care about those, then like Mad Space and Meteor Herd, it's probably going to take you a few tries to A rank them.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. They're just. It's just in terms of size and everything.
I mean, it's the final level, so it's expected for it to be more difficult, but you know, if it becomes unfair, then
yeah. But I don't know, I feel like people wouldn't think that if they used hints properly.
Yeah,
because it's like, I don't know what it is. Like I've talked about this at length at this point. Like my Dry Lagoon part was nothing but me talking about this. So I don't want to retread that too much, but they're like, when it comes to more experienced players, like they don't want to use hints because they feel like they have everything beat and they've never used it before, so they don't know how useful they can be. New players, like even if they do use them, like nobody seems to know that they can pause to look at them. And then you have reviews like, you know, like Johnny's, that are like, they're useless, don't use them, and they decrease your rank, so you wouldn't want to use them anyway. And I feel like that's really unfair to this playstyle.
Yeah, I feel like that's misguided, yeah. But I mean... Oh yeah, what were you saying?
As it's like, it would be like if you tried to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 without using the spin dash or something like that. Yeah. I feel like hints are that integral to the experience here.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And so when people aren't using them, and you know, then blaming the game when it takes like 24 minutes, you know, that's where I get kind of like,
yeah, that's true.
I don't know about that, and I feel like that's not being totally fair to this playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, usually when it comes to Sonic games, I usually agree with Johnny's reviews. The only one that I was completely in disagreement with him was with Sonic Lost World. Like with that one, he was just like, because what he tried to do was he tried to get all the red rings, you know, in his first play, which I like. That's not how you play a, you know, like that's not how you play a Sonic game. Like you play it first to enjoy it. You don't play to collect everything, like unless you have to. Like if it's a treasure hunting.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, that's my first playthrough. Yeah, I got an A. So you can use just a few hints, even in Mad Space, and get the A rank. And that's the strategy I recommend, because it'll take you way too long if you try not to use any hints at all. It's just not worth it.
Yeah,
you're best off trying my method. But when I first played Lost World, I did all the red rings as well.
Yeah.
And
I only did the red rings that were close to me, but yeah.
I don't know. I really don't recommend red rings in Lost World. I think, because like there are a couple in Generations that I really hate, especially because with Generations, they make you play some of the stages multiple times to get them all, which I'm not a fan of.
I hate that. Yeah.
But with Lost World, there's so many do or die rings where, like, if you miss them, like if you even grab them but die before you reach the next checkpoint, they make you get them again.
Yeah.
Or there'll be like parkour ones where you have to like run along the edge of a wall and grab it and then not die afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just like the simple fact that if you grab it but then die and have to get it again, it makes it so tedious. And that's in Generations and Colors, and I think Sonic 4 Episode 2 as well. But with those games, I didn't encounter nearly as many deaths just trying to get red rings as I did with the previous games. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I played Lost World after the patch, but I had a much easier time getting the red rings in Lost World than in Colors. With Colors, I was raging, which was weird because, like with Johnny, he said
there are a couple ones in Colors that are pretty annoying. Like I'm thinking of this one in Aquatic.
I think it's that
Park,
one. Oh yeah, it's such a bitch to get.
Where you like where you have to like do a see and wisp off like these very specific points to refract yourself to a specific spot.
Oh yeah, that one sucks.
The star that the red light is on. Shit, I didn't get a chance to read that. But, yeah, go on.
But yeah, I know exactly that one you're talking about because that one sucks. Like that's why I think the ones in Lost World, like there's only 2 red rings in Lost World that are a bitch to get. It's the pinball one, you know, and that frozen factory.
Oh yeah, that fucking one.
Yeah, and then the other one, the snowball one. But the funny thing is, it's actually the easiest to get. But you know, it's kind of like, it reminds me of the barrel roll obstacle in Sonic 3. With this one, you just have to not do anything, and and then it's kind of like a pin. Whatever, I forgot what that game is called. Is it called Pin? Crap, I'm not good with sports, but you know that thing where you hit pool? Yeah, pool. Yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when Sonic is in his snowball form, you just have to not move it, and then he'll hit all the pool balls or whatever. But the first time you're playing it, you think, okay, I gotta move Sonic to hit them all.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then it wasn't until I think what I eventually figured out was if you just stay in the middle, which is where you are by default, then that's the position you're in that will hit all the balls.
Yeah. But with that one, I was like, wow. But those are the only two areas where like getting the red rings was really hard. But other than that, it wasn't that hard.
I don't know. I recorded I don't know. At some point, I was planning to do a Lost World review, but all of my projects, they get jumbled all together, and then I get busy with college, and then nothing comes of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I recorded a full, basically red ring playthrough of the of Sonic Lost World relatively recently, and I was like, it was much worse than I remembered it, and I remembered it being kind of frustrating. And once I played it again, like in like the second level, there's like this one where you have to use the asteroid wisp, but it's like slightly too high for you to reach. So I eventually figured out, I'm supposed to suck up a certain amount of debris before I head in, and then I'm supposed to fly up and grab it. But the problem is that 3 minutes 24 seconds, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
The problem with that is that the motion controls on the asteroid wisp were really bad.
Oh yeah.
And I know that they patched it, but I still couldn't, even with the analog stick controls, it's like so slippery and it does whatever it wants. Octagonal missile launching pad. So based on that, I remember that at the top of the level there is a octagonal platform near a couple large storage containers. You can see it at the top of the screen there. So we're gonna head up there, and that would have been my first guess. Sure enough, the radar's blinking, so we're getting closer.
Oh, that's good.
And it went yellow, so it's gotta be up here. And yep, there it is.
That's cool. But there's one more thing I want to add about Lost World. I think what made it easier to track the red rings is because you're not boosting in that game. There was never a time I had to look on YouTube to find where the red rings were ever in Lost World. It was mainly how to get them, not where they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I found myself, because I think it's safe to say that Lost World's level design is a little more trial and error than the previous few games before.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And and so when you have this system where if you die, you lose the collectible and have to get it again, that to me is really annoying, because like this whole idea of having collectibles and stages that you grab was established in Donkey Kong Country 2 for the SNES, which is one of my favorite games of all time, by the way. And the thing in that game, how it worked was you got the Creme coin, you had it forever, period. And you could leave the stage at any time. Like, you could go back into, like, say, Windy Well or something and grab the one you missed, press start and select, and you're done.
I love that. Like, you can do that with Lego games too. I don't know why you can't do that with Sonic.
Don't dig under a moon. Let's see. Don't dig under a moon symbol near a trap on the capsule meteorite. So what's the reverse of that? Do that.
Yeah, just remove the.
So you just head straight for the capsule planet or meteorite, which is over there, and look for a blink. And then, sure enough, it's blinking. There's the moon symbol. There's the trap. That's got to be where it is. But for some reason, I just could not time this digging animation correctly.
But I guess like if you in the way that, you know, when it comes to Sega, they're still doing treasure hunting, because there's still red rings in Sonic Forces. So like red rings is a staple now.
Well, yeah, it definitely is. But I think it's a little different from treasure hunting.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
So far as like what this is about is exploring an open-ended level for 3 randomly picked things, and it's just like just to get back to the radar for just a moment. Like, you know, as much as people complain about that, I find that because of how good the hints are when you use them properly, the fact that it can only pick up one piece at a time doesn't even really matter all that much. But you know, I feel like certain reviewers, not naming names, just want to make the game look bad, so they don't bother using. They're like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it's just that they are really that oblivious to how hints work that they, or if they're actually trying to make the game look bad.
I don't know. When it comes to Sonic games, like it's like just people don't know how to play them anymore. Like, you saw how IGN had difficulty trying to go over a loop. It's like, really, no wonder they put speed boosters now before the loop. Yeah. But I do understand what this one fan was complaining about, because, you know, when I was complaining about people complaining about speed boosters, saying that they weren't chemical plant, and this one person, he actually made a good rebuttal. He said back then in the classic era, when you saw a speed booster, it was exhilarating because it made you go super fast, a lot faster than you normally went. Whereas these days it's more like it doesn't take you to top speed. It's more like a directional speed booster, almost like automation. So like, okay, I see what you're saying, you know. Because like, especially with Lost World, like the speed boosters that did not like propel you in blistering speeds. It was just like, oh, okay, you know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
That just real quick, that hint said the floating platform of the gravity meteorite, which is this one. So it's got to be in one of these floating platforms.
The galaxy planet.
And then, yep, there you go.
That one.
That's simple. Like these hints, like. It drives me nuts that people still think that these hints don't help.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping now that I'm watching it.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, I think really what it is people don't know that they could pause to read them. But
for the GameCube version,
spread the word. Yeah, I mean, the GameCube version tells you, but it's the features in all 3 versions, all the way back to the Dreamcast original. So it's like, no matter what version you're playing, you can do this.
Yeah, I gotta try on the PSN version, because I remember like that one got low scores. It's like people like the same critics who gave it better scores in the past, or like they gave it lower.
I think part of it's because if you want to get your clicks in your IGN or whatever, then the easiest way to do that is to rage on Sonic, because that brings everyone to your video.
Yeah,
people
like,
who hate Sonic
terribly.
will come. Well, yeah, I mean that sounds like, yeah. So I got an A. I mean, like the A rate for this stage is lower using my strategy, but that is the only realistic way you are A ranking these stages.
True. Yeah.
Because, you know, I have tried the other method. It takes longer.
Yeah.
No, it's not worth trying to get those extra bonus points. So if you want to A rank the stage, you're gonna have to use my method. But yeah. One thing I didn't mention that I would like to drop real quick is that at the beginning platform in the stage, and I just discovered this during this project, is that the 3 prongs of the platform have different colors. There's a red prong, a blue prong, and a yellow prong, I think. And those colors correspond to the different planets, actually. Oh. So like the the red prong, the rocket will take you to the capsule planet. The blue prong, I think, takes you to the gravity planet. And then the yellow or green one, I can't remember which, will take you to the holy planet. So that's, once you know that, it's much easier to get around.
Yeah.
But like I said, it took me like 13 years to figure that out. So I'm not sure how everybody else is doing on that.
It's a long time to decode something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all for Mad Space. We can get to more of our final thoughts in just a moment, but let's skip ahead real quick to our statistics and close this part off.
Yeah.
Our newbie run, as I've mentioned a couple times, is 24 minutes and 32 seconds. Full hint run was 9 minutes and 59 seconds. So you can see that you can save a substantial amount of time in the stage, I estimate anyway, just by using 3 hints per shard and knowing about the pause menu thing. Trial scores there. Trial mean on average, I can finish the stage in about 2 minutes and 41 seconds, plus or minus 56 seconds. On a bad day, it would take me more like 3 minutes and 40 seconds. On a good day, it would take me more like 1 minute and 50. So
nice. And by the way, I got a question. Did you edit all this, or is this part of the game?
No, I made all those assets.
Oh, nice. It almost looked like it's part of the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the background is from the game. It's if you stop the game and load your save file back up, and you happen to have left off on a Rouge stage, it will open with that, and then it will have text with Rouge saying, "That darn echidna broke my emerald."
I have never read all the text before. I always skip it.
Yeah, I always do too, but yeah, so full hint minus newbie, you could save about 14 minutes and 32 seconds by using 3 hints per shard. And trial mean minus newbie, if you happen to be experienced with the stage, on top of that, you can save an additional, basically, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. So experience for Mad Space matters a lot, I'd say, much more than other stages, but even then, you could substantially reduce the amount of time you spend in Mad Space just by using the hints properly. And I really think that that's what the game developers intended for you to do, was to use as many hints as you needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, it's a problem then that all the big reviews that people watch this game tell people not to use hints. Because that just sort of cycles into the, I don't know, making them look bad. But, yeah. So that's it for our stats. Any final thoughts you have about this stage or Adventure 2 or whatever, GamerGuyd?
Oh, well, I Mad Space is still not my favorite stage, but after watching your videos of this, it definitely, puts things in perspective. Like, but like back then I used to think, oh, if you look at the hints, you get a lower score. But like even when I did that,
which is true.
I mean, you do, but it's not like it's going to ruin your score and you can't, because I've seen you like get an A rank and you used hints. So yeah, you just got to do more stuff. But yeah, the treasure hunting stage is, it just is something you gotta continue playing and replaying until you get better at it. It's kind of like Sonic games in general. But I think people are just quick to judge, especially now that like Sonic has always been in the bad light. So people are just like, oh, Sonic was never good, and then So I think it's that whole thing that made people bash on the adventure games even more. But yeah, like while I don't think they're perfect, they're not bad by any means. They're they're good games, and I think like there's a lot in the adventure games that Sega can use to implement in Sonic now. That can be even polished and made to be better. But yeah.
Yep. All right. So where can we find you, GamerGuyd?
On my channel, of course, GamerGuyd7Aces. Also, stay tuned for the next Sonic Theory I'll be doing, guys. I'll be doing that with ExoParadigmGamer. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done a Sonic Theory because, of technical difficulties in school and all. So yeah, I'll be getting back to that real soon. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to me if you haven't. And yeah, that's about it.
Yep. One video I can recommend, and it's kind of on point,
not
surprisingly, is yeah, not the Tails. God, I can't believe it. But I could recommend his one on the Knuckles raps.
Oh yeah,
which is that one I think is still my favorite. But essentially, he's talking about how there might be a hidden meaning in the raps, and that there's some evidence that Tomoya Otani, I don't know how you pronounce that.
I just said Tomoya Otani.
Yeah. I don't speak Japanese, so don't crucify me, weebs. But that there was a hidden meaning in that some of the cut stages from the game are going to sort of, explain Knuckles' something about what's going on in his head during this whole game.
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating. I recommend it.
Yep.
It's good fun. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, GamerGuyd.
No problem.
So as for what comes next, much like with Knuckles, we're going to have some preliminary statistics for Rouge. Hopefully that will come out sometime today, but if not, it'll be around here soon. And then after that, we're actually not done with collecting runs just yet. We have a bonus episode on Sonic Adventure 1, and I will be bringing on another guest who loves that game more than life itself.
Adox. I was just guessing.
And yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll come out on Monday, I think. And then after that, there will be some kind of conclusion video where I sort of wrap up everything I've been talking about and leave it at that. So yeah, that's been the Mad Space episode. Thank you, GamerGuyd, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right, swag out, guys.